So here we're going to go into the active warm-up of all of our training that we do here. So we're going to start off with the walking knee hug. Now everything we do in this walking series of the warm-up, we're focusing on postural restoration. So whichever leg is down, we're focusing on squeezing that quad and squeezing that glute, and keeping our hips underneath us the entire time. So just focusing on getting back to this tall posture here. So the first thing we will do is a walking knee hug. So again, down leg is locked out, hips are underneath me, and I'm just taking this knee and I'm driving it up as high as I can while holding that posture. Dorsiflexing this foot, and coming back down, switching legs. Nice tall posture. You'll do 8 reps per leg in everything that we do in this warm-up today. So 8 reps per leg there. The next thing we'll do is quad pull. So you're gonna take one hand, grab the opposite foot, keep that knee underneath you. Don't let that knee flare out. Right underneath you. Again, tall posture. Pulling that quad, opening up in the quad into hip flexor, and then taking this free hand and overhead reaching. Just trying to work some shoulder mobility here. Open up in that shoulder, nice tall posture, abs tight, 8 per leg. Next one, leg cradle. Very similar to the high knee pull, but now one hand under the knee, other hand over the shin, and both hands are actively pulling at the same time. We'll switch legs, same thing. Next stretch is the hamstring stretch. So toe reach here. So we're gonna focus on hinging in our hips here. So push that butt back, abs tight, nice flat back the entire time. Shoulder blades are pinched, abs tight. Avoid going into lumbar flexion here. So you have to focus on hinging in your hips. Think like you're pushing your butt backwards. So push that butt back. And then at the top, you're gonna stand up tall, overhead reach again. Hands on my hips so I can feel my hips hinging in this motion here. This leg's locked out, leg in front of you locked out, back leg is going to be bent in the knee. Push that butt back, hinge in the hips, stand up tall, reach. Next one, straight-legged march. This one, you're swinging your legs up as high as you can under control. Under control just means that you're keeping that down leg locked out again. So squeezing the quad, squeezing the glute, and we're not bending in the knee at all. So I'm coming up, swing, switch leg. See if you can get your hands and feet to work together. Opposite hand, opposite foot, just like as if you were running here. Swing, switch legs, swing. Next one, lunging with an instep. So you're gonna lunge out. When you lunge out, taking both your hands and just kind of holding yourself up, hands inside the lead leg, so don't have them outside at all. Both hands will be inside. Notice I've got as much surface area on this foot as possible. So I'm not up on my toe, but I'm not up on my heel either. I want to have as much surface area on the floor as possible. Nice flat back. Once you get a nice stretch, opening up towards the lead leg. Want my chest to be facing this leg the whole time. Reaching up high, come back down, stand up tall, switch legs. Nice proud chest. You're bending in this back knee. The knee is just hovering off the floor, so it's not touching. It's just hovering. Open up in that hip. Rotate away. Stand up tall. Last one in the walking series is an inchworm. So you start off in a push-up position. Arms stay locked out the whole time. Driving my hips down to the floor and my chest up to the ceiling. Hold for a second. Then I'm going to walk my feet up to my hands through dorsiflexion. Small steps. As soon as you feel your knees start to bend, walk yourself back out to a push-up position. Hips down, chest up. Walk your feet in through dorsiflexion. Feel that bend, walk yourself back in. And time. So here we're going to go into the quadruped series of the active warm-up. Quadruped just means hands and knees position. When I'm in this hands and knees position, I want to think stacking as many joints on top of each other as possible here. So quadruped position, I want 90 degrees in my hips, 90 degrees in my knees. Think about stacking your knees directly underneath your hips. And then my hands, I have my wrist, elbow, shoulder, all stacked on top of each other as well. And while I'm in this position, I want to think long spine. So I don't want to hike my hips in and round my back up like this. I also don't want to hyperextend and start arching in my lower back. Think about getting your trunk actively engaged while we're in this position. Nice long spine. first exercise we'll do is fire hydrant. So I'm just taking one knee and I'm actively pressing out, coming back in, squeezing that core. The goal in this is to stay squared up in the floor with my chest the entire time. So I don't want to externally rotate at all to the point where I'm rotating my hips and facing away. Stay squared up with the floor the whole time. Get that glute, get that hip fired up. You're gonna go 8 reps per side on all of these as well. Switching the other leg, go the 8 the other way. On the next exercise, go hip circles. So I'm extending my leg out to full extension, squeezing that glute, squeezing that quad. Make sure that we keep this foot dorsiflexed and we're not plantar flexing here. Dorsiflex that foot, and then you're just gonna rotate it back in. So pressing out, rotate it back in. Remember, staying squared up with the floor the whole time, so don't over-rotate and open yourself up to the outsides. Keep yourself squared up with the floor the whole time. 8 per side here. Last one we'll do in the quadruped series is called scorpion. So now I'm keeping my knee bent, dorsiflex foot, and I'm gonna drive my heel up to the ceiling as high as I can, squeezing that glute at the top. Then I'm bringing it back in, hovering off the floor, right back up. The goal here, keep that trunk tight, don't hyperextend in your lumbar spine at all. Think long spine here. So driving up, squeezing that glute, coming back in. Go 8 per side here as well. Time.